Hello, everyone. Welcome to Weigh In Wednesday. It is week 14. I'm having the hardest time getting settled and comfortable over here. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm just letting you know. Um, so the week went pretty well. Back into the swing of things, back into the routine of things. There's no holidays coming. There's no holidays that just happened. I mean, within a week period here. I know Christmas is looming, but week went well. Eating wise, I didn't I have a couple different cheats. I think I've mentioned in other videos um, when I have cheat days. First kind of cheat is I stay in my calorie range of 1500, but I'll really go easy on the quality of the food. So if I want to have absolute crap, junk, whatever I want, as long as it's within the 1500 calorie range, I let that go. Then there's another kind where I'll have move my calorie count up to 2000, but I'll watch the quality of the food still. So it's still all that good stuff you always have on a diet, or at least that I have. Whole grains, lean protein, veggies, fruits, skim dairy, Greek yogurt, all that happy crap. But I just eat more of it. So, given that I had a plateau last week, I wanted to keep a close eye on my eating and on my salt intake and my fluids, so I was not playing mind tricks with myself about my weight should have been this, could have been this, whatever. I don't want to get too deep into it. So eating was pretty clean. I cheated twice um, on the quality of my food, but didn't go over on the calories. One is in my What I Ate Today video. Sidebar, it just occurred to me that in every one of my What I Ate Today videos, I'm eating pizza. In every single one of them. So I'm going to make an effort to try to make another one that maybe is more reflective of how I eat on like a non-cheat day, or on a day when I'm not in a bad mood and trying to comfort myself with food. So I'll try to get on that. But there was that day, the one day I had some pizza, and the next day there was a big baking order that Mark had due, and like 4 dozen cupcakes, 4 dozen cookies, and a bunch of other stuff. And even though there was that much in the house, I did pilfer just a couple cupcakes. Again, still in my calorie count, but they bumped out some actual food because they were a little high in calories, but very well worth it. So that was food. Activity, nothing to write home about. I did an hour of cardio, and it was my usual walk to the grocery store to pick up some stuff. So half an hour there, half an hour back. It wasn't as cold this weekend as I thought maybe it would have been, and I was a little worried that I'm going to have to start working out in the house. I like being outside. I like the fresh air. I'd keep walking outside into, the high 30s, but anything below that, I'm afraid I'll start to chicken out on the walk. Determination is fine when you're just leaving the house, but on your way home, or on your way to your destination, it's real easy to kind of bargain yourself back and turn around and go home. So we'll see. As far as activity, I'm going to have to start mixing it up. But I did an hour's worth this week. So to the numbers. Start of my journey, I was 272 pounds. Started this channel, I was 229. Last week, I weighed in at 210, and it was a plateau week. The week before, I was the same weight. And chalked it up to 1,000 things. Bloating from Thanksgiving. I had had a stomach flu. I was retaining water. I probably just ate more than I realized. That's usually the case. So, but it was a bit exciting. I think this week's clean eating paid off. I got on the scale just now before I got into the shower, and I was 207. So that's a 3-pound loss. That's not too bad. And I think it's actual weight, too, because I've been keeping my fluids up. I've been staying on the lower salt end of things, so maybe I lost a little bit, but, I don't feel dried out. I don't have dry mouth. I'm not, deliberately manipulating any of my fluids. I still drink caffeine, but I drink a lot of non-caffeinated stuff as well. So I'm feeling like that's not what's going on here. I'm feeling like some real weight actually came off, which is cool. Excuse me for 1 second. I have to go handle something. I'm 207. I'm 207. I'm 207. Boo! We're back. Thank you for your patience. So there were also some non-scale victories that came along this week. Let's see. I feel like I'm a little kid playing in my dad's clothes when I get dressed for work in the morning. Everything is way too big. My shirts are starting to feel like tunic tops. My pants are okay. They're not too bad. But I'm not really sure when I'm going to start buying new clothes. I'm getting close to goal. I mean, I'm 2/3 of the way there. So maybe I'll just go to Salval or a thrift store and pick up some stuff on the cheap. I usually shop at Salval or Goodwill anyway. I can't remember the last time I bought a new piece of clothing. Everything is, and it's usually on half off day when I go. So I'll pick up a few secondhand things, I think, just to get a feel for sizes and to tide me over till I get to where I want to be. But everything's big, and as much as that looks frumpy, it does feel good, to be kind of lost in my clothes. The other non-scale victory was the fact, like I mentioned before, that there was baked goods everywhere throughout the house. And I ended up transporting them as well. Mark was going to a craft fair with my mom. My mom crochets like a mad woman, and her stuff is gorgeous. And she was selling her things, and Mark was going to sell some baked goods also. He caught the stomach bug that I had last week, and he couldn't go. So I decided I was going to go fill in. We already had all the stuff baked, and we had put the work in, so I was going to go in his place. A salesman I am not, but we did do pretty well. But I was in possession of all these cupcakes, and they were there, and they looked good, and we had all that stuff in the house, and there was a couple mistakes, so I could have eaten them, and I didn't. I didn't tell myself no to any of them. I did take a couple, and I had them as a cheat, but it didn't turn into a binge, and at the same time, I didn't tell myself, no, you can't have any. I think I'm approaching something like moderation. That word has always been rather meaningless to me. Moderation means nothing at all to me. It never has. But I think I'm approaching something like that with food, which would be, it would be a breakthrough of sorts if that actually became something that I could learn over a period of time and discipline myself to have. Because it's not where I start from. I start from a very black and white place with almost everything. So to take a middle road and do something sensible is something I've had to learn. It's not instinctive to me. So those were the non-scale victories. The scale victory was noteworthy. I'm pretty happy about it. And so far I'm just looking up to the next few days. We're coming up on the weekend, and then it's going to start rolling into Christmas again. And, we'll kind of take that all as it comes. But so far, so good. It's been a good week. I'm into the 2-0 single digits, which is, again, I've said this every few weeks, but I'll say it again, even though I said I wouldn't. It's another new low. I don't remember seeing this weight on the scale in 10 years, over 10 years. So, I don't know. It's proud making. I'm proud that I did it, because no one can do this for you. You have to do it for yourself. I don't care if you're doing it naturally, calorie counting, if you had bariatric surgery, if you're using some sort of supplements, when push comes to shove and you're alone in the house and you're alone in the kitchen, you know what you're doing. You know what kind of decisions you're making. So if you're putting the work in, however you're putting it in, and you're getting the results, be proud of yourself. You should be. So that's all I got. I'm thinking about putting out a video this week, and I need a little maybe reassurance from y'all. So if you could put anything in the comments. I am looking to put up some before and after pictures, so before and current pictures. I have one before picture that's clothed, and I'm like 270, 280 in that picture. A little fuzzy because it's an actual photo, it's not digital. I have one at around 230, but I'm very scantily dressed in it. And then, I have what I look like now. So I'm not sure. I'm going to try to splice all those together, use it as the thumbnail or work it in. But I'm a little not so comfortable about showing the one around 230. So I may just go beginning till now. Anybody else here still bashful about their bodies? Or anyone who's on a journey that has dealt with like loose skin or anything like that? Sometimes I go back and forth in my head about which do I dislike more, just on appearance sake. I'm not talking about health. At a cold stare, do I think being a little chubby looks a little not okay with me? Or do I think the loose skin looks a little more not okay with me? I don't know. Kind of go back and forth with that. So it's very possible I will continue to be bashful and not, show that stage of the journey. But I'm still throwing it around in my head. Still a little body conscious. So that's all I got. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch up with y'all soon.